Dead or Alive 6 has received its first big update, and with it we have 2 new characters to play. One returning from Dead or Alive 5, and both coming from the King of Fighters franchise. And I'll say this, if nothing else, their models look absolutely beautiful. Diving into Kula first, and it's going to be very hard for me to say that because she shoots ice, and we have a character named May that we need to get to eventually. I honestly went into it thinking I was going to hate her right off the bat. Not only hate fighting her, but hate playing as her. However, she's actually pretty fun. She's really flowy and fast, and every time you pull off a combo with her, it feels like you're putting on a little performance. I haven't played her for too long, but I've already discovered a pretty decent combo to ensure that you get a fatal rush off. Free someone with your ice breath, and then start dribbling the absolute shit out of them. For whatever reason, when a target gets thawed out of the ice, they're thrown airborne a couple feet in the air. And since you can't counter a fatal rush while you're airborne, this pretty much guarantees you get a fatal rush in the fight. Despite the fact that she can freeze an opponent, she isn't really that OP of a character, thank God. That's not to say that she's perfect. Her running grab is a little bit ridiculous. She can pull it off way too easily with no real way of knowing it's coming. And I also think her charging attack does just a little too much damage sometimes. But those are basically my only gripes. I actually really like playing as Kula, and I'm probably going to continue to do it in the future. Now on to May. My feelings about her haven't really changed since she was added in Dead or Alive 5. She's weird, and it feels like she doesn't really belong in DOA. And yeah, I know that's kind of the point. She isn't from DOA, so of course it's not going to feel like she belongs there, but I don't know. It's like adding Corvo Attano to Assassin's Creed. It almost looks right, but there's some uncanniness involved. Especially with everyone in the DOA universe treating her as if she's a celebrity every time they're about to fight. And it's like, oh, it's such a great honor to meet you, and oh, it's such a great honor to fight you. Anyway, she's basically the same as she was in Dead or Alive 5, and I still don't like her that much. She isn't a bad character by any means, just a stiff one, I guess. Whenever you're starting a combo with her, she starts ramping up speed and then immediately grinds to a halt with some of the slowest and most telegraphed attacks ever. Her fans that she throws are friggin' paradoxical. She throws them out pretty quickly, but the speed themselves that they travel in is so slow, it can really only be used for punishing someone who stays down too long or just used at close range. And if you're using it at close range, what are you doing? This is a fighting game. Just friggin' punch them. Sometimes you get a really good game as May, and sometimes you just get an average one. Nothing too spectacular, just a match that happens. No flashy combos, no cool grabs, just, you know, a game. Which is a bit of a shame, because she's a pretty recognizable icon. I mean, everybody kind of knows her. People know her more for her chesticles than anything else, but, you know, she's super well known. I wish that she was a super cool fighter, but sadly not. I just wish she was, because she's really prevalent in the fighting game community. Also, she shoots fucking fire! How do you make a character that shoots fire kinda lame? I don't know. I personally feel that since May was already in Dead or Alive 5, they should have put Kula in for the second King of Fighters representative in Dead or Alive 6, and if they wanted to add 2 characters in an update, bring back Momiji! Please, I know you guys listen to feedback. You're incredible at that. You know that I know that you know everyone wants Momiji back in Dead or Alive. Please? We miss her. Anyway, yeah, May's okay. She's basically the same as she was in Dead or Alive 5. If you liked her then, you'll like her now, because it's basically the exact same thing. So yeah. Anyway, it's new Dead or Alive 6 content either way, so I'm excited nonetheless. I just give the devs a hard time because I love them and this franchise so much. But you guys are doing an amazing job. I just want you to know that. And thank you for listening to all the feedback. Seriously, you guys didn't have to do this, and I appreciate that. You also didn't have to do. Don't think that this hasn't gone unappreciated. Dead or Alive 6 started off very strange. It was a great game, but the way that you unlocked costumes was a lot different than Dead or Alive 5. In Dead or Alive 5, you would get costumes by completing an online match or you would just finish any match in online. Didn't matter if you won or lost. In Dead or Alive 6, you had to unlock parts, and then you had to buy it, which is kind of weird, because usually if you have the parts, then in a lot of games, if you have the parts for something, it just lets you build it, but you have to get the parts, and then you have to buy it. It's weird. At launch, it was completely random what costume parts you wanted. So let's say that you're an Elliot main, and you've been playing online for 2 hours, and you've been getting nothing but costume parts for Elena, Hanoka, Kasumi, and you're thinking to yourself, well, this is great, this is fine, I mean, these costumes are awesome, but you just want some stuff for your boy Elliot, you know? And I can respect that. And Koei Tecmo and Team Ninja, they listened, and like a week later, they're like, no, don't worry guys, we fixed it. Also, people were noticing that it was kind of dumb that Phase 4, a clone character you needed to pay money to get, and they were like, you know what, you're right, that is kind of stupid, you know what, she's free now. Also, here's 100,000 free credits because we have 1 million players playing this game. That is fucking amazing. Anyway, thank you guys so much. That's all I really wanted to say. But seriously, can we have Momiji back, please? Thank you. Please.